gut reaction after reading the script for Shame?
I thought this is a really beautiful story. I thought that it was very eloquently told and very thoughtful and respectful, and just very sort of, you know, moving. I felt for all the characters, and especially for sort of Brandon and this sort of conflict that's going on within him.
Speaking of Brandon, at the end of the day when you were filming, he's such an intense character, and there's so much going on with him. Did you find it hard to shake him out of your head at the end of the day?
You know, I didn't really necessarily want to always shake him out of my head, you know, because we were working under such a concentrated period of time. You know, I had 3 weeks to prep it, and then we shot it in 25 days. So I was like, look, you know, just live with the guy, you know, for 8 weeks, and then I can sort of dispose of it and sort of flush it out. My main concern was that at the end of the day, that I'd left everything on the floor, and that, you know, really sort of give it, you know, 110% focus every day. Also, I like to turn it on and turn it off and switch off, and I'm quite good at sort of getting rid of it. It's something that I've developed over the years, and I think it's important for me, because I don't want to become sort of too sort of, I don't know, like it can be like quicksand if you get sort of too, well for me personally, if I become sort of too stuck on it, I might miss things that'll happen if I relax a little bit, miss things that happen within the scene, and surprises, and react to them appropriately.
Did you look to any other movies or documentaries to build the character of Brandon, or?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I watched some documentaries. I sort of surfed the internet.
What did you find?
Oh dear, porn. No, I mean, you sort of, no, all jokes aside, no, I sort of, you know, you sort of look at whatever's available on the internet. I read up about it and found it sort of, you know, I didn't realize that it's not officially accepted as an addiction, just like gambling is, or drugs or alcohol. And then what was astounding, I think it's something like 24 million people in this country alone have claimed to be affected by this.
Oh, wow.
So that's massive. And I was like, wow, so many people, yet it's not really being taken seriously. Because my first, you know, being honest, my first reaction was myself, sort of, I laughed, you know, it's like sexual addiction.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to take that so seriously, you know. Is it, you know, does it exist? And then, of course, you get to meet people that do suffer from the condition. You talk to them, they tell you their stories, and you realize how devastating and how real it is. And then that really affected me, and I thought, okay, just, you know, whatever I do, I must keep this character close to me and not sort of you know, have an excuse and sort of hide behind any other character or dissociate myself from it, because I really thought this is a problem for us, for all of us. And so, you know, rather than having, you know, Brandon in the raincoat with, you know, sweaty hands, no, just make him a normal guy that's sort of going about his everyday sort of business. From the outset, everything looks normal, but then you sort of go home with him and you find out what happens behind closed doors.
And how do you think a movie like Shame is appropriate for this current social atmosphere and how people are acting right now?
Well, I think, you know, I think it's just we should always take a look at certain things that are happening within our society. The accessibility to pornography has never been so readily available. I mean, you know, when I was a kid or a teenager and I wanted to sort of get a porn magazine or a porn DVD, I had to sort of reach up to the top, you know. And then you sort of looking around, then you have to go to the counter and pay for it. So there's you're dealing with your shame there and then in the sort of in the store. Now it's a couple of clicks of the buttons, and you know there's 1,000 sort of different options more. You know, as the world that we live in is kind of crazy, you know, and I think the conditions that we all sort of exist together and how we all sort of relate to one another is pretty intense. I think, you know, that we're getting so much information streamed at us all the time that I think it's an awful lot of information to process, and I think that it creates a level of anxiety and confusion in the society, and I think that can manifest itself in various addictions.